Hello and welcome. It's an honor and a pleasure to me to welcome you here on this channel and that you dive with me with the same excitement into the stories into the hidden stories behind Egypt on a spiritual level, under a spiritual background. And I am quite excited. I was talking about the 8-8 in my previous video, and the 8-8 is very much related to the pyramids and the Egyptian story, and the 8-8 is opening because of the pyramids also, but we're diving into that story later. I thought I am making a storytelling because, as you know, I love storytelling and I love to deeply dive into the stories of a person, of the alien beings, of the stories behind the stories behind the stories. And that you have a more holistic view on the things I'm talking about here and what's going on behind the scenes, and what was going on quite a while ago, because this was on the following story was on in January 23, 2001, so it's quite behind. And I saw a few things that I never seen before. I saw, first of all, that the plasma was a new energy. I think it was 2019 or 20 when 19 when the spiritual workers first saw this energy. It's like, I don't know, white glittery and like rainbow color over it, and it's very much there to clean and cleanse and to store information, to clean and cleanse, renew information, just working out everything that is hidden and that's so entangled. All the energies before weren't able to solve. So it has also the power to release codes and unpack energy particles to sort out their codes. And its purpose is that the more we become plasma energy and the more things become plasma, it serves like an information, like an information point. If the sun, the moon, the earth, me, if we are all, this plasma has the ability to make all energies equal, but not to change them in the energy itself. It's more like it's around things, and to equal the frequency, make it more visible, so that the energy exchange can be in general, so that everything can communicate. Like I said, all the planets, human beings, animals, plants. It's more like the telephone line spiritually, so if you will. So when plasma was unpacking parts of us to expose us and to have like a heart revelation, I wrote here. And I saw, and I realized that reptilians release structures in our bones. And as you know, I've never worked together with the reptilians. I've never heard a lot about the reptilians. Like I just told you, people are talking about them in general in a negative way, very negatively. And so they took me like on a journey with them. I drove down to the fields where I'm working spiritual. They're my energy gates. And I first saw them and working with us, and then I got a little bit shaky because, as you know, you are hearing a lot of stuff, and I thought not that they are dangerous or something, but you know, I'm a light worker, and if someone is interested in me because of the light and not of the darkness, because when it's about darkness, I wouldn't work together with anyone. So a big story started to open up, and all the alien teams opened themselves up with this energy work on that day. It was a blood spill time. As you know, I save my period blood. I wear menstrual cups and pour it in a glass and store it in the fridge. And after 1 week or so, I spill it outside because blood is the highest transformation. It's so much used in rituals of cults, for example. So I started to work with my blood because it's faster and more easy to transform things than with or by crystals. Crystals always take their time and they work differently. Blood is more transformation, stones are more passing on informations. Transformation and information. So I saw the blood black. That was something very I do not see very often, because usually it's white or gold in energy color, what I can see with my third eye. And yeah, I felt like this blood should be there to release something, and I felt that it should release anger. And this black represented also like the cosmic womb. And I went out with all my crystals and my working tools. And I saw already the teams there. The Lyra team in the background, the Anunnaki of Inner Earth, the alien beings of Inner Earth, reptilians, and the insectoids. I don't know how to say that in English, the insectoiden. I don't know, maybe like that. And they all called me out because they wanted to clear and solve a conflict of the past. And I went to Garden Eden. That's a very beautiful landscape with woods and what's the name? Willow and everything. It's so beautiful, and also fruit trees. And I was working there a lot when it was always about the new earth. So we were working with codes and energies and everything. And it was like that this place was already so much new earth encoded. It was like that new earth is established already in that place. It was just a representation of something very new. And so I went out there, and it was snow everywhere. And it's always a good time to work with crystalline energy. As you know, snow is always the crystallinified water. So it was beautiful. And I also saw the Seta and the Lyra in the background, and the main thing, it was about the Anunnaki and the reptilians. So I saw that the eyes of the Anunnaki in the earth, they were glowing so reddish, like they were so angry and they wanted to solve this conflict. And they told me just afterwards, because at first I quite didn't understand why I am out there. Okay, I'm a light worker, but it's always like in the movie, The Never Ending Story, like with the Bastion, when he says, why me? I am just a little earth child. Why me? It can't be me, simply. And so exactly I felt the same. I felt, how could they, with this great history of Egypt and alien teams, why and how come they chose me and were working out this with me? And later on they just told me that because they just wanted to have someone who's working neutral and with the light. They just wanted to have someone who is neutral in this story between the reptilians and the Anunnaki. And then I understood and I got it. But it was such an honor for me that they chose me, that they believed so much in my ability that I can help them, that they chose me. And I was quite flashed that time. And I just me as an earth child went out with my crystals and my blood into the snow, and it was quite crazy. I was standing there and just listening to both parties to get a better understanding and an overview. So the inner earth, the Anunnaki, they were the main alien team, and the Lyran in the background, of course. They were the main alien team who established Egypt, this whole new era of life, of healing, most of all, of very intelligence and intelligent buildings. Yeah, it's what they just wanted to build, a masterpiece, like a representation of their yeah, it's more about the serious alien teams, because the pyramids are directly pointing to Sirius star system. And every year at the 8/8, this gate opens because the stars are completely aligned with the pyramids. And so the Sirius, it was like the representation here of Earth, of the Sirius alien beings also. But it was most of all, the main idea came from the Anunnaki, as they are telling me and showing me. It's always, you always, like with the energies, you have the main energy, you have the main matrix, and after the matrix comes the buildings, the codes and everything. And so alien teams are, the Lyrans are overall, then mostly the Vega are involved, not here so much. And the Sirius and the Anunnaki, they just, it's like the both alien parties, Anunnaki from inner earth and Sirius from like above, they wanted to collaborate and see what they can, how they can benefit Earth when they have the light flow together of both parties. And it was just a light form, a light structure. And the reptilians came in later on because they wanted to, and pyramids are also there to, they have the vibrations of, because of the sacred geometry of the buildings, that it sends a specific frequency, a specific vibration that creates sound. And because of the sacred geometry that creates sound, this sound is healing Earth. And not just healing Earth, it's like they are also telling me it's like a satellite. And they, for example, this energy can conserve, like the mummies in there, it can conserve. There's also this wooden or metallic pyramid you can put over fruit. That fruit stays fresh for a very long time. For example, the pyramids are also like a satellite station for information also. It has all to do with the aligning with the stars and the stargates, which are coming because of this, and all this beautiful background. They just wanted to make their own telephone station to communicate, to benefit Earth. And the reptilians, they the main conflict in Egypt was because this is why we release all the codes of the past now, because we always, there are so many civilizations, so many ideas, and always creators, if it's animals or whatsoever, we always lose the point in everything when it comes to our ego. We always have a positive idea of light, and or most of all, there can be other ideas also, but there are always ego gaps. And this is why we come into this age now, to awake, to be fully focused, always on the light, and not just being focused on the light, also being refocused inside again, that we don't lose it, that we don't lose us in everything. We have to work first with us to be this free spiritual being. If we are lacking something, we will pass on the lack. And so that's what's always happening. If it's Atlantis, Lemuria, blah, 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 it's always that. It's always that. And even if it's Atlantis, there were it's always an egotistical thing that comes within. It comes in general when you incarnate. It's natural. But it was, wasn't so mindful sometimes. So, and other alien species use that. For example, the reptilians, like I said, they have the structure that they have a leader who's going forward and building, and others are following because they are lacking. They don't have the emotional body. And so they need one who does, and other alien beings who follow. And so they wanted to see how their idea, their representation of themselves, is doing here on Earth. What if I apply something here, and how does people react, plants react? They all wanted to have a part of Earth to see how it's working out. And that they manifested it via the sound into our nervous system, into our bones, and in our spine also, in the spine. And it was like an encodement that suppressed us also. And this representation we can see very much well in political themes, or in the structure itself, most of all at workplaces. One does something, the others should follow. It came quite far here on Earth. Let's just say like this. And it can be also very convenient. They're telling us it's not always negatively meant. They wanted to also see how this benefits us, how not. They just wanted to see, like I said, how it's working out in general. And I'm not talking always about all the reptilians. Just because a group of reptilians are working with me or worked with me, it doesn't mean that all the reptilians are working with me. Yeah, this I have to say also. So it was interesting because at this Garden Eden place, which I called because it's so untouched nature, I worked with friends there, and I saw so many times, I saw the Egyptians out there, and I always asked myself why. And after years, they just showed me, they presented the whole story. So, and yeah, reptilians, they wanted to, yeah, make humans like robots in a way, and to change their structure for a better better organization, and like machines to product, blah 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 blah. And then I saw this release in our bones, and now at this 8/8, 2024, they even created their own light DNA. So now what was suppressed and dark in the past, now they create this new for the light, for the better. They just changed it, and they see now, ascension-wise, how they can help us best, by changing their structures. You see how beautiful that is. They all came to me, and I never thought, I was out there and I thought, how should I fix that? But it was not, I shouldn't do it. They just wanted me like as a witness, and as someone who is gently guiding the situation. And they also are telling me now they wanted to have this because they wanted to be seen, both parties. And I knew that the inner earth, they were quite angry, and they wanted to solve it, and they wanted to have like back their planet, their environment, they're telling me now. And the reptilians, they also just had an idea, and they wanted to see this idea here on earth. But this idea, because of the ego gaps, got a little bit astray and lost also. So we always have to take care that it's not becoming like a virus. And it's very interesting because it was 21 in the middle of Corona. So it's all not just a coincidence. And we wanted to, gaining consciousness again and coming together to solve this. And this, really, the words are missing how beautiful this is and how crazy this is also. So, and then I saw this release in the bones, and they used the time of Corona because they wanted to push it in the field where already a virus, a sickness is manifested, and they wanted to use that to let something be seen to solve it. When it's most in need to be seen and solved. And the Anunnaki said the humans here on this earth and the animals, they have this nervous system. And because of this very fine nervous system, we can't function as robots. Absolutely not. And the reptilians, they were so obsessed with their idea to get their idea here out on this planet, and so that they completely forgot or didn't even look closely what's all going on. And with this information of the nervous system, it was like at first they didn't want it to see even. They just had this idea most of all, and then they stepped a little bit back, and they were forced to understand and forced to see this. And this is why they needed me, because I were channeling both parties, and I tried to get them together just in the neutral seeing and to assist them. Assisting is always shared and not so harsh. And so it was like the messenger between both parties. But the reptilians also drew back from this whole story of Earth, and the inner Earth just wanted to be clear of the story and wanted to be free most of all. And then I saw the blood golden, which was very beautiful. And I went into there's like a wooden place, and I went inside of it, channeling those. And they wanted that I poured the blood there into this wooden piece, in this wooden area, because like I said, the new earth was so much like already established there that I pour all the story and all the new codes and all the release onto, they're telling me now, a sacred ground, a new neutral ground, like a new beginning, like put this old problem, this old darkness onto something new and watch what happens, watch how it's transforming, watch how it's ascending into the light. And yeah. And it was an honest solving of this problem. Out of this experiment from the reptilians. And because the plasma energy unpacked all the parts of us, we were like, yeah, exposed, like I said, and free. And this just had to be the time where everything gets solved, because how else should it be when everything is already exposed and free, and the old stories are always coming up and always coming through. And this was the perfect time to clear the situation. And they wanted to sort all the parts and to clean all the parts. Because of the new codes, and all those parts were released and got new codes for this new earth. And the reptilians showed themselves that they're ready since longer time. And now they wanted more to make us strong for the ongoing time, for future, because they see that it's more beneficial if they're stepping in as our real helpers, so that we can ascend and coming forward, instead of holding us back just for their idea, just for their encodement, for their experiment. And then they were making themselves ready for this release and this coming together, this consensual gathering. Yeah. And everything was glowing golden. It was crazy. And afterwards, so colorful with all colors. And then white, translucent, to set all the parts free. And then spirits from the Holy Spirits were working with those and making like whirls, vortexes. They went inside and made everything free, set everything free from those encodements. It was also release of the throat a lot and neutralizing. Yeah, and then I saw this. I poured the blood like a snail. It's often a sign of the inner earth, also. And I saw this again, this black of the cosmic womb. Everything that we are and will be, they said. And afterwards, golden codes came, and they were God light was shining on them to, set everything free, to like this very graceful father who says everything can be well again. We can forgive us. We can understand most of all. And by this understanding, we can release everything. And then the heart came into all, and to understand the entire story of the past. And earth became gold and sun illuminated, crystalline, and everything was like dancing.